Hey Stamp friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachel Coon and it's our Wednesdays kit class. Today I'll be using our paper pumpkin kit from September, which is the Hunts and Harvest paper pumpkin kit, but I'm using the stamp set only to create these fun 3 cards. Go to Hold My Flip and I'll tell you all about it. All right, welcome. Hopefully, if you've joined us before, if this is your first time, welcome. And let me explain how our Wednesdays kit class works and show you what we're making. So this is in fact my last Wednesdays kit class as we know it. What I usually would have you do is order $35 worth within the next 2 days. So from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on Friday, then I would make you the kit that I've made for these cards would also send to you after you order online from me. But we are starting something new in October, and I'm super excited to do that. And we'll no longer be doing the kit class as we know it. But that's okay. But since it's the last of the month, we are using our paper pumpkin kit, which looks like this. I'll show you the cute little things that we made. This is the Hunt and Harvest paper pumpkin kit, and it creates these cute little treat holders. So it has this style, it has like an apple look to it. There's even ones that you can make to look like jack-o'-lanterns. Super cute, great for treats or even home decor. But if you wanted to make a card just using the stamp sets and some other items from our annual catalog and mini catalog, this is a great one for you. Also on the back of our description, you'll see even extra ideas the Stampin' Up! Gives you as well. How to make a cute little turkey out of it, 2 other cards, and even a Frankenstein one. Super, super fun. When you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber for me, I'll add you to our Paper Pumpkin patch on Facebook, and you'll be able to earn even more fun things along as that group. So if you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin today, and I would love to have you as part of my pumpkin patch. All right, let me show you the cards. There's this fun one right here that has kind of like a window we've created just using that leaf. This is a very simple layout. I didn't embellish at all on this one, and I've just added extra texture. Then we have this one here that uses that Just Jade to make it a little bit more of a fun card versus a fall card. It's still fall, and we use a fun method of stamping off to make it a lighter tone. I know fall colors are usually very warm in orange and reds and dark greens, but I like it to be more bright than it usually is, which is crazy, but I do live in California and we don't have the typical fall here. I'm going to show you how to make this card and how we've used the stamp set to create the background. Let me show you the stamp that came in it. And oh, the box is pretty awesome too. This is the box for this month, and you could have opened it up and inside cut it out to create a old-fashioned wagon. You can kind of see the outline and the numbers, and then it has extra pieces as well. If you want to keep the fun going and you love these treat holders, people have been using them as a template. So you can trace this onto another piece of paper and then cut it out. And, excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. Hopefully we're done. That little crazy tickle, and hopefully it won't come back. All right. So what I was saying is that you can use this to make your own template and keep on creating these cute little treat boxes as well. Excuse me. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this easiest one first and show you how. All right, so I'm using the Very Vanilla, and I've used also the bark embossing folder. I thought this was a great embossing folder to give it texture, and it has that wood look, which with the leaf makes sense with the tree. So that's why that was a combination. However, excuse me. Oh my goodness. The square here is a retired die. We have other square-like shapes, but you could use any shape of die to create this window here. However, you want to do the die cut first and then the embossing afterwards. I've also die cut out this fun little label. This is from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which is one of my favorite ones. All right, let's go ahead and grab, and I'm using that very vanilla because it's a little bit more vintagey looking and fall-like, I feel, versus just that bright white. Excuse me. However, that bright white I did use on another card later, and I'll show you why. Okay, hopefully we're done, and if not, I apologize for my poor tickle in my throat. It's the worst. All right, so what you want to do first is line this up over your card base and grab a pencil. I always have one handy in my craft room, and you just want to you can either outline the whole square or just kind of do a general area so you know where you want to stamp that leaf after we remove this from it, just like that. Next, we're going to grab our leaf shape. Sorry, I didn't show you all of the stamps for this one, so I'll show you one by one as we continue with them. So this is one of the leaf shapes here, and we are going to actually do it in the Pale Papaya. Oh, let me grab my foam mat real quick. Okay, so we're gonna have this underneath it because it's photopolymer, and we need just a little bit of extra give to it. All right, so Pale Papaya is a very light orange. It's one of our in colors, and you wouldn't traditionally think of it as a fall color, but like I said, I like the lighter looks. So I'm gonna go right there and ink it completely straight there. Then we're gonna grab our stem outline. It's like that kind of looks like a branch or a little tree kind of thing. We're gonna use that for the inside of our leaf, but we're gonna use it with a poppy parade. Ink that up and line it up over. We can see exactly where we want it to go. I feel like that didn't get enough ink though, so we'll go one more time. And right about there. Awesome. I'm gonna wipe these clean real quick. And I even got some on my thumb, so I want to make sure I get that tapped off because we will use these again for our next cards. Okay. Next, what you can do is go ahead and erase those pencil lines if you want. They usually won't be seen, but just in case, grab your eraser and do a little bit of erasing. We also need to stamp that label, so let me get that back into view real quick. I did the thank you, which I thought fit perfectly for this one. And you can never have too many thank you cards. I'm using that Poppy Parade. And the thank you on this one is so cool. Let me turn it so you can see it the right way. Look at that, it's like super scripty looking, but not too hard that you can't read what it says. Cursive is one of those things that it's a dying breed. There's not as many people who know how to write it or read it even, but it's gorgeous when you see it. And I think even if you can't read cursive, that one's pretty much easy to tell. All right, now we can move that out, and let's go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of our card front here. And I have a couple of these ends that we need to keep on using. Make sure you put some all around the square here. You want to make sure that is raised to give that window look to it. So support it all around there, and then get your corners for your part as well. And we'll do one more down there. Perfect. Okay, remove the backings. Like I said, this one's a really simple card. It just has some of those fun cuts to it, but the look itself is very simple. All right, it's going to hover over our leaf, line it up right. Looks good. And just add some dimensionals to the back of our label as well. If you're here watching live, I'd love to see your comments, and I'll be sure to comment afterwards. I'll also have a link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube for all of the supplies I use and for the measurements as well. All right, we're gonna grab our bone folder and carefully crease this or burnish it on that score that we've created. And there we go, super easy. Simple fall card with the thank you. All right, let's go on to our next one. Let's do this one here. It's our Just Jade card base, which, like I said, traditionally is not a very fall looking color, but I just love it. I love that so much. Just to add a little bit of extra color that's not traditional. Let's grab our pieces here for this one. And let's grab all of them and tell you what they are. So what I have is this one, oh my goodness, what is this one called? I think this is also the Stitch So Sweetly. Yeah, this is the Stitch So Sweetly. Same die that was in with our other card. This is what you'll find with it as well. And I actually did this one on basic white. And I know I did the other one in very vanilla, but it's because this color here on this DSP is more of a white background. So the very vanilla with this one, it would really clash. So I decided just to go ahead and do the white instead. And then this paper is from our host only pack, a paper you can get for free when you're a hostess and your party gets up to that right amount. And it's perfect. I love this paper. It's one of my favorite ones. See on the back side, there's either that yellow on it or like this fun rainbow look. We're gonna use the black and white side for this one, so that way the leaves here will be what really pops. Let's go ahead and glue those on now. And I'm gonna go the opposite way. So the first time I had the leaf one in the center and then that buffalo check one on the outside. We're gonna go buffalo check center, and you just want to kind of have them at a tilt. Don't have them going straight up and down. You can either, there we go, kind of like that. Perfect. And then you'll see over here, I have a little bit of a background we've created with the stamp, the paper pumpkin stamp. And I want to call this one more like a, let me show you it so you can see what I'm talking about. It's like this weird, kind of like a paintbrush stroke almost. We're going to grab that Just Jade. This is the same color we're using. And we're just going to make some background right here, and only on that side. And we're going to have some of them stamping on all the way, and some of them not. We'll have it going just down this whole side. And there's no rhyme or reason of how many you need or how far into it you want. Kind of like that. Pretty random. All right, we'll put that ink away for a quick second, and let me wipe this off so we don't forget. All right. Next, we will need to stamp on our scalloped rectangle and our tag. This tag came from the tailor-made tag dies, which are some of my favorite ones. They have different sizes and shapes, and this is the perfect size. We're going to do the You're a Blessing with the Just Jade ink and stamp that onto our little tag there. Perfect. Then we're going to stamp our stems using our Memento ink. I'm using Memento because it matched my DSP. It makes it easy to make choices when the DSP has the colors that I want to use. I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to be very careful not to hit it. We're going to use the stem first this time. For the other one, I had us do the leaf first. This one, we're going to do stem first. And we're going to just go at different angles. So let me make sure I wipe that off. Do you see that spot right there? You might not be able to see it. So if you see spots that look like they can cause damage to your card, go ahead and wipe them off before you even start stamping. Just be on the safe side. Okay. So we'll have this guy going at an angle here. And get up again. Have one going lower and at a different angle. A middle one. Tilted this way. And our final one down here. Going off just a little bit. Okay. Looks pretty random. Looks pretty good. We are going to go ahead and grab a scrap piece of paper. Let me grab one real quick. I have a million pieces of paper around, but never the one that I need at the time. Let me see what I can find. Hold on. Okay, we'll just use this Post-it note right here. So what we're going to do is grab our leaf color. And usually I like to go lightest color first, but that's okay. We'll just make sure we clean it really well. We're going to ink it up, and then we're going to stamp it off. This is going to create a lighter look to our leaves here. So I'm going to use this Post-it note to stamp it off once, and then we're going to line it up to our leaf stem right here. Perfect. We'll do it again. And we'll do it for this guy right here. Line them up. Perfect. We'll wipe it clean and put that ink away. Sorry, you can hear that. So I keep my wipes in a cup. So that way I don't get that wetness on other paper spots. Let me tell you, that's happened many times where a wet object has destroyed a card. So super cheap fix. My tip, put your wipes in a cup, even if it's reusable or non-reusable. The wipe or the cup. All right, let's go to our next color. We'll do the Poppy Parade next. That same idea though, we're going to stamp off. So ink it up. Stamp it off, and we're going to put it for this one right here. Perfect. Our last color is Pumpkin Pie, which is a really great traditional fall color to it. Pumpkin Pie. And we'll ink that up. We're going to stamp it off. And put it over our stem. If you want this one even lighter, don't ink it again and go one more time on the last one. Awesome. So as you can see, the color difference would have been really bright, which you could have done and it would look fine, but this gives it just a little bit of a softer look to it when you stamp it off once or even twice for that light guy there. All right, let's grab our basic black twine, which I am not sure where I placed. So what you would do at this point would wrap twine around right here, but I'm not finding the right color, so we'll just pick a different color. We can use either our white, the gray granite, or that crumb cake. Let's see. I think this one actually might look, yeah, that one will look the best. That's the gray granite. And we're going to wrap that around twice, around our leaves. Like that. And you can use those scallops to help keep it in place. I don't measure, so we'll just guess. You want to just give yourself long enough ends to tie a bow. Almost. I have enough room. I just can't get it to stay put. I might need to tie a knot. There we go. Hold it tighter. Perfect. Oh, and guess what I forgot? My tag. So string that one through. And then we'll tie it on. And maybe that's what we'll do. Let's go ahead and tie a knot first for this one. So I'll stay still and then we'll tie that bow. So one full knot. There we go. Now that should be easier to work with. I just need to make it the size we want it to be. And play with that a little bit. Trim it down as needed. Okay, flip that over, add our dimensionals. So I am part of a new design group called Beyond the Box. It's one of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. Get an extra tutorial made by 5 or 6 other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, where we give you even extra ideas to make that's beyond the box. I'm super excited to be able to share that with my Paper Pumpkin patch, and I love the card that I made for it as well. I would show it to you, but I don't want to spoil it for those who are going to get it later on, the beginning of next month. Just give them some extra ideas of how to use the stamps after your kit is all gone. So I'm just using some of these genial gems to embellish on here. And I use it's like that soft succulent color, I think. Or maybe that's just jade color. For the other one, we use the gold one for this one. Going to flip it and use your bone folder. There we go. And there we go. 2 fun cards using those leaves and even creating a fun little background right here on our card base. All right. Our last card for the day has lots of fun stamping techniques, and we're going to create this whole background here. It's kind of what we call making your own DSP, that designer series paper. I went ahead and used that very vanilla again, and I've added the soft succulent vellum, and I've swirled it using the painted label dies. That's where those dies come from. I'm using my Poppy Parade as my card base, and here are my pieces. So here's this little scallop piece that will also glue onto the back of our label. And I have this one saying Happy Halloween. There's a couple other sayings you can use as well. If you don't want a Halloween card, you could even do, I'm gonna make this one, in fact, a thank you card instead of Happy Halloween. Make sure it's clean. So let's do that label first, and then we'll stamp our piece here. All right, and I love that Just Jade, so that's gonna be my color for my words. I'm sure you haven't noticed that that's one of my favorite colors. I use it all the time. And that's what happens when you like something so much, you tend to use it more often. All right, we'll stamp the thank you right in the center. And if you wanted to, on this one, I added some extra little leaves. Let me show you. By stamping off first and had that kind of that faint background to it there. Totally up to you. I'm going to leave this one without that look though today. And let's go ahead and grab our paper here. Okay, so my tip for this one is to use the big leaf image first. That gives you a awareness of space that you have available, and you want to make that one of your main focuses. Here is the stamp itself. It's this awesome looking leaf here. Let's make sure we're nice and clean. And if you look at my card, I have it gradually getting darker and going lighter as the leaves go down. Let me show you how we do that. Let me grab our ink colors out. Again, I'm just using the Pale Papaya, the Pumpkin Pied, and the Poppy Parade. So we can see them. I'm going to move this out of view real quick so we can get all of our ink colors in here. Okay. So like I said, I want to have this one start as our lightest color. So you can just do that one completely, the Pale Papaya. And you want to start with the lightest color first. And we'll go and put it right about here. I'm not even going to wash this off though. We're just keep it going. So for the next one, we're going to make it a little bit darker. We're going to first use our Pale Papaya, like that. Flip it over and grab our sponge. And we're going to sponge on just a little bit of that pumpkin pie onto the next leaf. Let's just kind of go over that a little bit It's okay if it gets on your clear block. And then we're going to have this one, we'll have it going over here, maybe in this direction. Like so. All right. Next, what we want to do for this one is we're going to not even wash it. We're going to stamp half of it in the pumpkin pie and half of it in the Poppy Parade. And the way to do that is to take it and we're going to go just on half of it. So I'm going to do half with that pumpkin. I'm going to turn it and have it go about half there. If you want it to meet, you can, or else there'll be that little gap right there. I kind of like that gap, and I had that leftover ink on there already, so it'd be okay if you stamp that. Awesome. Fun little stripe we made there. All right, for the last one, I will go ahead and do a fresh, clean slate so that we know what we're doing. And I'm going to ink it up in the pumpkin pie, so that darker orange. And then we're going to take this and sponge it with that Poppy Parade. And we're just doing the top part, not the bottom, not all over, just the top of it. Okay, and we'll put this one right up here. Awesome. So kind of show you how to make different shades of leaves and how to stamp them in that way. Go ahead and keep your Poppy Parade out real quick. We're going to go ahead and stamp the stem for this one. So this is what the stem looks like. And when I saw the stem first, I did not see the inside of a leaf. I actually saw a snowflake, which is kind of a cool idea to use this one as a snowflake instead, especially if you're not stamping this bottom half. So if I were to stamp it like half off, you'd only see the outer part and not that bottom one. So that's one of my fun tips for you. Create snowflakes with this leaf one. All right, so we're just gonna go over, hover over, line up, and put our stem in each one of these. So next week I will still have a Wednesday's kit class, but I will no longer be sending out the kits afterwards. I decided to go ahead and try something else, and we're gonna do just rewards for ordering all month long. You'll know more about that on October 1st of what kind of monthly rewards I'll be making for you guys. All right, so if you want this kit though, this is the last one that I'm making for my customers, is this one today. All right, let's get that photo back in so you see. Now we can go ahead and add our stems in the Just Jade. And those were the skinny stem is what I call it for that one. And just do some random stamping with this one. Kind of fill the space a little bit. When you stamp random, you usually want to stamp in a triangle type fashion. And that's just more eye-catching when we do it that way. So it's random, but it's not really random. Okay, and this center spot will be completely covered. So if you want to leave that blank, you can. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to grab that little paintbrush stroke. I have to find it. There it is. And we're going to use the Pale Papaya for this one. So we'll just kind of add a little bit of color and edge to this here. We'll do maybe a random guy up there. Mostly this one's just for the outer edges pieces there. I love it. That looks great. Maybe bring it up close so you can see what it looks like so far. There we go. You can kind of see the different leaves, and you'll have to pick which one you like the best. The lighter one, the pumpkin pie one, the dual stamping, or the sponging with those dark colors. I'm kind of really liking that top one right there. I think that's gorgeous. All right, I think we're ready to assemble now. Let's grab our Poppy Parade card base and a little bit of seal. And you know what I just found? Of course, my black thread, my twine. That was what we were supposed to use for the card earlier. It was right to the right of me, of course. I looked over there to grab my Seal Plus, and there it was. Oh, that's okay. It still looks good with the other one too, just a little different. Get that nice and centered. We're gonna put this guy on, and we want it to be shiny side up. So there's a dull side and a shiny side. I put just a little bit of adhesive on there, and we're gonna place them in the center. There we go. Next, we just need to attach these two together. Again, you just need a little bit of adhesive on this label here. And then we'll cover it halfway so we can see some of it coming through the top and the bottom. Flip it over for dimensionals. This will help keep our vellum down and also our labels attached. All right, go center with that one. Perfect. And we just need to grab our embellishments right here. These are those Genial Gems. These are one of my favorite ones. They have just the right amount of sparkle and don't add too much bulk to it though. We'll put 2 down here and we'll put 1 more up here in the corner. This is a darker card base, so make sure you add another insert for the inside when you're making these cards so you have a place to write on it. And there we go, our 2 background stamps with those awesome paper pumpkin stamp set. So we have that one. We also had our Just Jade one using the stamp off method to create those 2. And our first card we made was this really fun window leaf card where we have it embossed with that bark embossing folder and have it popped up to look like it's a window coming through. All right, you guys, I hope you've had a great time learning how to make these. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me here on Facebook. I would love to see you each week and continue showing you all these fun things to do with your paper pumpkin boxes and kits after you're done with the kit itself. All right, you guys, have a great week. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.